You know, the clock on the wall says 8 o'clock, so I will call this meeting to order. Verify with Mary, open meeting laws have been met. A nod, yep. We have a 18-item agenda. Looking for a motion.
Motion to approve.
Okay,
I'll second.
questions, adjustments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Negative? Item 5, public comment period. Members of the public will have a 15-minute block of time on today's agenda items. Members may be in person or call in to make such comments. To comment by telephone, please call 715-538-1894. Public comment may be extended or curtailed at the discretion of the committee and/or board chair after advisement by the board.
Dave, number 4.
What's that?
I think we missed number 4.
Oh, my. Yep, I wrote my note in the wrong place. Sorry about that. Okay, public comment is open for now, and we'll go back to 4. Thank you. Minutes.
Second.
Questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. And I don't see the phone lighting up. Is there anyone here wishing to make a comment on our agenda? Don't see anything. Can I close it out right away, or do I have to wait?
Close it if no one's calling.
Okay. Hearing nothing, I will close out the public comment period and move on to county sales tax and general fund updates. Everybody get that? Questions? Okay. Hearing nothing. Item 7, department reports and requests. Register of Deeds with Sue Ackerman.
Okay, so our media conversion project is completed. Our images are being sent back. We just have to tie the images to the data, so we have to add data. I did have a sheet that I had sent out, and it has the initial payment, the second payment, the final payment. And so as you can see, there was a savings of $7,987.83 on the total project. And then for program updates, the Department of Revenue, their e-return program is going to the My Tax account, so it'll be MTA. So they're getting a new program. It should be easier for people to use, have more functionality, and that will be implemented January 12th. Revenue and statistics from August 1st to October 31st. The revenue, now that will be different because I changed the date. So what was in your packet was 71,000 that was estimated. So the total actually was $75,350.46. We had 1,133 documents and 584 vitals. And then I did have an error on your report for the print results. And that number should be $2,521.50 from May 1st to October 31st. That's a new fee we started charging for that was missed before. So we've got some revenue there.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
Any questions? Anybody?
Thank you.
Must be good. Thank you. Next item is the quarterly update from the treasurer with Michelle Rose.
Good morning. Did everyone receive the spreadsheet for the investments in your email with your agendas?
I did.
Okay. Any questions on those?
I looked at it 3 days ago, but nothing, no notes were made, so I must have been okay with it.
Okay. Mary and myself, we have been in contact with Ellers with the rates falling. They've made some suggestions that if you guys are interested in doing, we can go with. We have not set that meeting up with Ellers yet. We're trying to get schedules together. There's just a few municipalities I'm waiting for to return their overage that they received in air for the August settlement. Town of Albion, Town of Arcadia, Town of Ettrick, Town Trempealeau, Town of Hale, Town Lincoln, Town of Dodge, Village of Oliva, Village of Ettrick. And I will be sending out a notice to them to remind them to get those sent back to us. Currently, we are at 33 foreclosures, $140,926.62. These will be going into foreclosure this fall. Corporation Council will be sending letters out to these taxpayers. And lots of times, that just brings it to their attention, and they come ahead and pay the foreclosures, and then they're removed off of the list. Current delinquent taxes right now, we're at $982,091.07. And this does not include the foreclosures above. And these are from taxes from 2020 up to 2022, 2024. We have the parcel in the town of Gale that is up for sealed bids, and it will be in the paper this week and 2 consecutive weeks after. This information will also be put on the county website. Deadline for the sealed bids is Friday, November 21st at 4, and the bids will be opened at our next committee meeting on the 1st. The week of the 20th, I went ahead and was able to go to my conference at River Falls. Lori Halama was able to come in and help us out, so I was able to attend. One big topic that we had at our conference, and I'm just going to bring this to your guys' attention, and next month we'll put it on the agenda for more discussion and what we plan on doing, is the penny situation that will be happening in 2026. Oh, and today we're supposed to be going live with our new tax program. I just want to bring to your guys' attention, GCS and T-Tech are 2 different tax programs, and things are not going to be the same. We've had calls already from our municipalities upset that the reports are not identical. We are working with T-Tech support to see what reports are compatible for that. It's a big change for all of us. We're just gonna all have to work together and work through it to make it work. The 2025 tax preparation and tax bills will be all done in the new program this year. Does anyone have any questions?
Oh, go ahead, Bridget.
When you talked about the overage for municipalities, when was the last time you were in communication with these communities?
It was in October, early October.
Early October. So probably should reach out to them and at least let them know that we're willing to work with them, things like that, so that they know that we're here. I know it's only been a month, but still, I think a month to get that squared away is, we just don't want to let that slip, I don't think. And were you in touch with them via telephone or email?
Through email. Some of them called, so I talked to them, but it was email, so we had a record of sending them.
Yeah, and I think if you do talk to somebody via telephone, it probably would be good to communicate via email what you discussed and share it with them so that everyone then is on the same page. So, thank you.
In regard to the pennies you're talking about, have you thought about it at all since your meeting? And what did they have a recommendation of rounding up, rounding down?
It would be the
or a
rounding down.
combination?
It would be the rounding down, of
Okay,
course.
for everything. for
Well,
everything.
just for cash
Okay,
payments.
yeah. But I mean,
Otherwise, credit cards.
4
and-
cents and under rounds down, okay.
Yes.
That's C, the GCS, and those are programs for the new accounting system, correct? Or what?
Nope, GCS was our old tax program.
Okay.
So T-Tech is the new one, because GCS is no longer, it's extinct, it's just done. There's no more updates, so we had to go with something
Right, yeah,
else.
Right, but they were aware of that the townships, and what's wrong with it, the townships can't get in? What problems do they have? I'm just,
Oh, they should be able to get in. They're just, a lot of them have been there forever, and a couple of the reports they're used to getting are not in existence right now. So they're,
No gossip sheets anymore?
yeah, those don't exist.
do they need those reports though, to do their stuff?
It was just,
You know,
a lot of them was just the total, let's say you have 6 properties. It would say your name and the total amount that's due, instead of them having to go add up each parcel.
but you are working on it, correct?
Yes, we are working with T-TAC. We have a meeting on Wednesday to find out how we can get this resolved.
Okay, sounds good.
Any other questions? Susan, you have
You
something?
mentioned rounding down. If it's 4 cents, why don't you just go to the next nickel?
And that's something that we're gonna bring up next month, so you guys
I
can,
could see if it's less than 3, but if it's over 4,
The problem, as I think the problem, as I see, is we need to go one way or the other, because it's too complicated in the system to try to use the old-fashioned 3 and 4 you round up, 1 and 2 you round down. That's a split situation, but it's complicated when you get to this.
Yes, and I think there will probably be some legal issues if you are charging more than what's truly due.
Right.
So, I wanted to just touch base, and we can do this in front of the county board as well, if this committee wants to move it forward. There's been an opportunity to review some of the matters regarding the overpayments. And much of what I could find independently affirms what Michelle has provided. Essentially, that any sort of issue predated the August 2025 meeting with the Government Solutions, and that some of this is hopefully going to be resolved through the update to the software program. There were some things that I couldn't resolve through the course of looking at this, and they're open-ended. Throughout the course of this process, and I'm not sure if I know the reason why, but there's been some reluctance to participate in asking, responding, providing information. But from what I can find independently, I think Michelle has provided the information that she can. It's not a Government Solutions issue. It's something that's predated it, and hopefully it will be fixed for next year. I don't know if there are any questions about that. Again, we can provide this to the county board. If you would like something similar to go to the full board.
I would just add that in follow-up, just to give you an update, we've had a couple meetings with Michelle and to talk about these things. I did meet with the Independence School District. They had a closed session meeting to talk about the settlement fund issue, and so I did meet during that time with them. As you know, then we've hired Lori Halama to come in. She's agreed to come in part-time through the end of the year. I do follow up with her as well and just finding, just to talk to her about where things are at and her thoughts as well. So she does feel the settlement, she put that together as far as what was due to the county's communities, and thanks to Michelle for the follow-up on where that stands. The bank account is balanced through September now. Taxes are balanced through July, so we still have August, September, October, but Lori will continue to help with that. journal entries from February tax accounts through September are balancing. And so we have to have that continual piece with the clerk's office then on follow-up. So we'll continue those conversations and make sure that we have that caught up as well. So appreciate Michelle attending the Treasurers Association. That was good to have her attend, and she's got the communication then with them and able to ask questions, as well as Lori for her resources, and to continue to use Lori's protocol that she set up. But otherwise, that's kind of where we're at. I just wanted to also give you where some of these meetings have led.
Thank you. Anybody have any questions? Okay, good. It would seem like we're moving forward with this. That's a good thing, I think. Okay, the next one, Mary just informed me that she's been trying to find where this money actually is for that ATC funds. She said Paul was supposed to come in and help her research this because he was kind of the one involved in this. He was sick the day he was supposed to come in, so we have no resolution on that yet. What's that, Mary? Right. Okay, item 9. Discussion/possible action to amend Trempealeau County Ordinance Chapter 2 to include the Ethics Code and Code of Conduct. And I think Susan's up for that.
Good morning again. I sent out the updated document as well as, I think, the resolution, and I sent out an email trying to highlight the best that I could where the changes were in this version. It's fairly similar, although it should be cleaned up from the previous versions. I noticed, or I right off the bat had said, you know, there were some formatting, some minor typos that needed to be fixed, and so try to explain that. And then from there, I went through and talked about the parts that would be changed. A couple sections in our current 2.02 would be moved to the new Code of Conduct, which would be within 2.04. And I think there was a part of the committees as well that was going to be moved into that and incorporated in that Code of Conduct. There was a change, and I mentioned this in an earlier meeting, just to 2.03, so that we actually define what a declared emergency is. So we have that provision, we've always had that provision, but we never actually included a definition of that. I put in some notice language that's consistent with the statute as well. And then, so 2.04, we spent some time last month going through this. That is essentially the same as what you've seen. I don't think there's any big changes in that. And then 2.06 is maybe a little bit more cleaned up than the last version. Excuse me, the new, what I'm really going for is the new one, which is, looking at it, should be 2.07, the ethics. I'm wondering if there's a misnumbering there in this version, but we can get that cleaned up. This one, again, just is more cleaned up than the last one. I did put in, if you go to E2 for anything of value, we talked about that last month, where how do you define that? This one, I put in, based upon our conversation last month, $20. However, I wanted to make sure that it was expansive enough to allow for things that just look wrong. You know, if you keep having $20 again and again and again and again being paid to you, that's an issue too. So I didn't want it to be an all-inclusive. I wanted it to be a little bit more flexible because that stuff unfortunately does happen. I did remove the reporting, the financial reporting information, not because, and I put this in my email, not because I think it's a bad idea. I think that's what the county needs to move towards. We just don't have a mechanism at this point to support it. So down the line, we need to, if we have a conflict of interest, how do we identify that? We should be doing that on an annual basis, supplying that to you know, whether that's administration, whether it's my office, whether it's HR, doesn't make any difference to me. But providing that information so we know what it is, we have a timely and transparent disclosure. But again, we don't have the mechanism to set that up, to kind of define those terms at this point. So I'm not saying no, I think that's where we need to go. I just think it's confusing without having that structure. Everything else should be pretty consistent with what has been previously submitted, just cleaned up. You know, some of this is really basic stuff. You don't get to benefit from, you know, from your public position. You don't, improper influence, of course, is wrong. Private use of public property is wrong, and we've had issues of that within this county. Really incompatible employment is an issue, and nepotism and so forth. So these are really common stuff that we should know, but it puts us all in a level playing field as well. I don't know if there are any questions at all. I think I did put in, I'm sorry if I'm interrupting, I did put in here just a clarification that if the ethics board has a matter before it, Corporation Counsel represents the ethics board and not either of the parties. So that was one clarification I added too, and I put it in my email. So I wanted to,
When you were mentioning yearly review, I think you called it,
yes.
what are we talking about, looking at the rules, or are we talking about survey and asking for reporting of potential? What are we looking at with that?
So I took that out.
Okay,
So we don't have to worry about it now, but in the future, it's a process that department heads and county board officials and other officials would have to disclose what are potential conflicts of interest for current
Right, yeah.
matters.
so, that part, but how is that process going to work then? That's where I
That's
was,
my problem. We don't have a process. That's why I don't think it's a bad idea. I think it's a very good idea. We
Okay.
just have to develop that process and then come back.
okay, that's where it's at.
So that's what I'm saying, is we need to come back to that. Without a process, it's not enforceable.
Okay.
So I don't know if there are any questions about it. There's a lot here. I do think there might be a numbering issue where 2.06 should be 2.08, or excuse me, 2.07, and then 2.08, and we can get that fixed.
So where are we going now?
It depends on what you guys think. If this is an acceptable version, I did include a resolution. I believe that there's a accompanying resolution as well. So if this is consistent with where you want to go, you guys can vote on the resolution and bring it to the full county board for consideration.
Committee, where we at?
Somebody want to read the resolution, I'm ready to go.
So we can vote on the resolution, even though you still want to like define the declared emergency, things like that?
So the resolution includes some of those basic cleanup.
Okay.
Yep. The
But
typos.
then would need some more work later for this other stuff, is that what you're saying?
Yes, so, you know, when we started this process, we talked about how we would probably have to do this every so often. And that would be my recommendation, is down the line, phase two, like, come back and have a conflict of interest related procedure.
I didn't see anything that seemed like wouldn't work or would be what I'd consider a bad thing or whatever. I didn't see anything of that, and so this is probably the time to start this, get this through, have a little time to look at it, work with it, see what questions come up about it, and then a few months from now, relook at it.
Yep, we can add in as we
Add
go
or-
through
add or-
and
add or
see if we need
subtract, whatever.
a tinker or
Right,
so
okay.
forth. And I would just, again, say I will change the numbering.
Okay. Do you want to read the resolution off for us?
Mary, do you want me to read it, or do you want to
whatever,
read it?
Whoever,
I don't, the resolution I have is regarding the conference registration. I think I copied the wrong resolution, so,
So it is noticed and I sent it out.
okay.
So-
So, I'm sorry, I don't have that one with
No,
me.
that's okay. So the resolution amendment to Trempealeau County Ordinance, Chapter 2, to include the Trempealeau County Board of Supervisors Code of Conduct and County Ethics Code. Whereas Trempealeau County Board of Supervisors, hereafter the county board, hereby recognizes the importance of public trust in government and its officials and employees, that such trust is necessary to a well-functioning democracy, and that such trust is best created and encouraged through the defined and ethical conduct of its officials and employees. Whereas the county board further recognizes that the proper and ethical conduct in county government promotes orderly governmental affairs, the furtherance of actions taken for public interest and purpose, enhance confidence in governmental activities, and overall professionalism when performing county services and activities. Whereas the county board in May 2025 affirmed its commitment to proper governmental functions through its request for the drafting of a Trempealeau County Code of Conduct and County Ethics Code. Whereas the Code of Conduct and Ethics Code has since been drafted, with both being proposed amendments to the Trempealeau County Ordinance, Chapter 2, parenthetical, administration, parenthetical. Whereas the county board has reviewed and now finds that those amendments are acceptable and that they are consistent and promote such conduct, ethics, and ideals important to county government. Whereas the county board is aware that through this drafting and review process, minor modifications to the Trempealeau County Ordinance, Chapter 2, were discovered and determined to be necessary to reflect the standards and norms of the English language and to further the consistent and accurate interpretation of this chapter. And that the county board finds those changes appropriate for those reasons. And whereas that all such amendments and modifications are included within the attached version of the Trempealeau County Ordinance, Chapter 2, are also attached to this resolution. Now therefore be it resolved that the Trempealeau County Board of Supervisors hereby fully approves, adopts, and ratifies the proposed Trempealeau County Ordinance, Chapter 2, as referenced herein, specifically including new subsections on the County Board Supervisor Code of Conduct and the County Ethics Code. Be it further resolved that through this, the following shall occur: that Trempealeau County Ordinance, Chapter 2, parenthetical, administration, parenthetical, shall be amended to include the County Board Supervisor Code of Conduct and the county's ethics codes as new subsections, and the remaining subsections shall be renumbered as appropriate. That the additional changes recommended to promote consistency in form and interpretation shall also be included within the amended ordinance, That a true and correct copy of Trempealeau County Chapter 2 shall fully reflective of and incorporating all approved changes and additional sections as discussed herein shall be included with this resolution, and that Trempealeau County staff are directed to take those steps necessary to carry out those changes now made to the Trempealeau County Ordinance, Chapter 2 administration, such as updating the electronic version of this ordinance, updating the employee handbook, and drafting forms for county use related to these changes. And I don't know if there are any questions about any part of that as well.
Move to approve.
Motion to approve,
Second.
and a second. Now, anybody got any questions, comments? This motion is to move it forward to county board. Right. Okay, if no questions, comments, all in favor of moving this forward, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Item 10.
Thank you. Thank you, Susan.
Reimburse Trumbull County Libraries at 100% with Amanda Hagee from Whitehall Library.
So in the past, there
I
was always,
suppose technically we should have a motion first and a second, and then open it up for discussion.
I'll make a motion to reimburse the libraries at 100%.
Second? Okay, now. Welcome.
Is that it? Okay. Good morning. It's nice to see you all again. If we haven't met, my name is Amanda Heggie. I'm the director of the Whitehall Community Library. We've had a little pause. Things were busy last year. We had some turnover, and We have the resolution in front of you for full reimbursement of Trempealeau County Libraries. I don't have a full presentation, but if you have questions, I'd be happy to answer them at this time.
Don't have questions. I would note that as of the proposed budget from the administrator does include a 100%
Yes, thank you very
reimbursement.
much. We appreciate that support.
Yet to be passed, but
Yet to be passed, of course,
Right.
yes. Okay, well, thank you very much for your time today.
okay, if no questions, we'll move on. Yep, thank you.
Hope the rest of it goes that smooth.
Discussion possible action on a grant proposal for the Scrum Highway Shop with,
Don't we need to vote?
Need to vote on
oh,
it.
that's right. I was thinking we already voted. Sorry. Long weekend. All in favor of 100% reimbursement, say aye. What's that?
It'll be read at county board as well, so.
It's based, yeah,
Mr. Chair?
yes.
I just want to say that I think it's been very clear from our constituents in the county that this is extremely important to them. So that's why I gave my motion.
Okay. I tend to agree that the libraries are very worthwhile to keep maintaining. But that's another story. Okay,
According to your wife.
what's that?
According to your wife.
Yes, my supervisor. Okay, anything else? All in favor of moving this on to full county board with the 100% reimbursement? Say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Now we can go to item 10, or 11, we just dealt with the Strum Highway Shop with Rebecca.
So, I'm bringing this to your attention a little bit after. I'm going to just pass around a little informational piece that I took from the Department of Administration. Governor Evers had announced a $50 million grant pot of money that was available for local community development projects statewide. And as those come out, they always come out kind of, and it's a scramble to kind of put things together. So anyway, in looking at possibilities for this grant, it's a 50% match grant. And so that provides extra interest, I think, anyway. So we're talking about the possible Strum Highway Shop. It was brought to my attention on the kind of difficulty of the Strum Shop and how we have some problems with just areas that aren't able to increase as far as for a business there through Lee Christensen as well as for the county, and how our properties are kind of butting up to each other and does not allow for expansion for either of us. So that was a conversation at the Highway Committee meeting. It was a follow-up conversation that I had with Neil and talking to him about the possibility of, does the county have the ability to, that they have plans already in place and that we have the funding that would provide half of the coverage for a grant opportunity if we were to go after this. Neil did confirm that, yes, there had been plans put in place in the past, and that he would need an update and get an update on the cost to build out, but also that he did believe that the highway shop had funding available then for half of that. So follow-up meetings then after that involved the business owner, Neil and myself, discussions with the chair and Supervisor Larson on this opportunity and whether we should take the opportunity to write for the grant. So that was a go, and so I did apply. That was due on Friday. And so I'm looking for your approval now, a little bit after the fact, but it was a fact of pulling these 3 opportunities together, and I'm going to talk about the other 2 coming up, but this one in particular, where everything was very well lined up, and so the request, the project total cost is about 1.5 million, requesting 795,000 from the state, which is the 50%. And we have support from all of our legislators. I did reach out to them. They've all written a letter of support, as well as from all of our state senators for this region. As I have also spoken with Department of Administration on the project. I'm just going to pass out the little overview.
Is this part of the monies that they put in a grant for rural highway fund?
No,
Or is that a different?
Totally
this is a
different.
one?
This is, yep, this is totally different. This is through the state of Wisconsin. It's grants for local projects, and they've divided up the state into different zones. We're in the northwestern zone, so we would be competing with everybody in that region. Of course, all of these funds are extremely competitive to, receive, but they are capping the request at $2 million per project. And so I have, in the proposals, at least that we had, it was my hope to keep it to all 3 proposals to 2 million so that we'd have a better chance. I think it's a really good proposal because for number one, it helps us in finding a location that would provide better access to the highway system for highway care, but also it provides better accessibility for a business, which is really important for us in thinking about how we are working with our businesses to make sure that we're keeping them and so that they're a part of our tax base. So anyway, that is the first proposal here for the Strum Highway Shop. Are there questions?
Maybe you mentioned it, but just that glancing at that everything had to be in by October 31st.
Correct.
Is that going to be the same on the next?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
So that's why you're saying it's already been done.
Right. So all of the grants have to have a public purpose. They are either they're broken into categories that you can apply for: health and wellness, economic and workforce development, public services, or arts and culture. And all 3 then of these, and number 11, 12, and 13 fall under the economic and workforce development category.
And while you're reading that, I just want to point out that Brittany had brought us the same resolution, but there was a missing comma or 2 and a missing word, the word ordinance in the the "be it resolved" was missing, so we have a cleaned up version here. So if you have any questions, let me know.
This is the second copy.
Yeah, just a second copy.
I would share that these grants all need to be with a, like I shared, with a public purpose. So they have to be either nonprofit or a government entity that writes for the grants, because the state will request that this, whatever properties are addressed would need to stay in public use for a 20-year term. That's an agreement with the state on that. So if we were awarded, that is something that you have to consider, that would have to stay in public service.
With the highway shop situation, that would pretty much be a given with that one.
Yes. Correct. Thanks.
Okay, any more questions on that? So what, you're asking for us to put,
Just approval for the.
Grant application?
Grant application. Yep.
okay. Looking for that motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the grant proposal for the Stone Highway Shop.
Okay. And a second over there, okay. Any more questions or discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Carried. Now, the next one is the grant proposal for the Child Care Collaboration Project.
So on this next item, I'm not bringing this forward. So I have worked on this for a while already and have been in conversation with all of you at the beginning when we set aside some funding for possible collaboration on a child care project. We have, as I believe I've shared with you in the past, we have an initial approval, kind of from the state WEDC, the Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation, for a match of $250,000 for a project for childcare. So that is one consideration that we could access for that project. I've continued the conversations with our partners, who are all very interested and have all written letters of support for this. The Whitehall School District, who has agreed to partner on running the center, the city of Whitehall, who is willing to commit funds to also help support the center. The Little Raiders, that already sets up childcare in the city of Arcadia, is the coordinator there is interested in working together in setting something up here. The hospital is very interested, and so they are also wanting something to happen, as well as business. So we do have some business interest as well. So my interest in this grant was looking at if we could get a 50% match instead of just the $250 from the state of Wisconsin Economic Development, that would help us bring this forward. So I could not pull that together in order to make the grant worthwhile. We need to have the funding in order to say to the state, this is what we have built up. And so those are all still conversations. The hospital conversations that I've had, their foundation is very interested, but we need to go through the whole process, right? And a lot of presentations and things. And while I have information and have shared that with them, and you all have been talking about this and looking at this issue for a long time, so we have survey data information, I have actual information from anecdotal information from people that are with childcare right now that are experiencing difficulty, business who are experiencing issues and problems around the childcare piece. And the childcare and housing kind of go hand in hand, which comes first, and so that's kind of the conversation. It's the actual commitment of funding dollars, and are we where we need to be in showing that? So I'm going back to some of my contacts that I've had with, on this issue, working with other entities as, the YMCA that I've worked with before, the Department of Children and Families. And so I will get back to pulling everything together so that we can get financial commitments. I think the broader thing that came out of this is that we got support from every single one of our legislators and our state senators on this. I was really surprised that we would get support from everyone, so that was a very good sign. Secondly, I thought it was really important that we have business support that are interested in this conversation as well. And then the last conversation I had was with the Department of Administration and saying, hey, I'm frustrated because this is where I'm at. We've got all these great partnerships, but I can't pull this together, and I can't get to where we need to be so that we can get a 50% match that'll get our project through, because it's not going to help us if we can't get the project done. And that conversation has at least led to, well, let us look into other opportunities for funding sources. So I'm having those conversations with the Department of Administration right now. They are excited or impressed or whatever you want to call it with all the partnerships, with everyone wanting to come together and see this happen. So that speaks highly for the project. So I'm hopeful in the future that with continued work, we'll still see that come across the line. But that will just, I don't need any action on that today, but I just wanted to give you an update.
Okay,
So I did not write for that grant.
okay. And then, item 13, discussion possible action on a grant proposal for the Strum Recreational Trails Project.
So this is a broader conversation about when we've talked about economic development and economic development funds as a part of our capital improvements planning. This past year for 26-6, we identified funds for possible childcare. For 26, I've set aside or put on the CIP continued recreational or, economic development initiatives. One of these initiatives is to support this project where I think is a real opportunity for the county in looking at how we develop outdoor recreation, which is looking at our recreational trails overall, but how we already have something that's already in a really great place. And if we as a partner again, and with the state then, hopefully with these state funds, could support and be a partner in that project, could be a bigger attraction for the county. So specifically, looking at the Strum community trails, right now, that's exactly what they are community trails. My proposal is to elevate those so that they would have a front sign so that you could see where to stop. And I share this because of my own experience. I went there and I drove up and down the road about a half a dozen times trying to figure out where I needed to be. So before I went to the gas station, which is maybe another good thing because then I had to buy donuts and support, which maybe didn't help my waistline, but it did help the business maybe a little bit. But anyway, So outdoor French signage, an information board for people to get information on the trails before they access, the purchase of a wood chipper and skidster so that the individuals that already are volunteers and take care of these trails, it's really incredible, the amount of dedication that they've given in time to these trails. They're quite a system. I'm very impressed. And so this would allow the volunteers to lay down wood chips so that they wouldn't have to mow all the time. That would bring down a little bit of the maintenance that they have, taking care of the trails. It also would prevent someone from walking through the trails and ending up with soppy feet when they get done, which again, I had occur. And so I think it would be a good way to, again, elevate those. And then the continued look at how we could create a couple lookout points, and then the discussion with them about again winter use and how we can increase our use of those trails in the winter. The name of the trails then would need to be something more regional so that we could advertise that to people outside of the area. And so they were interested in considering the Strum recreational trails. And so hence the name for the grant title. So overall, the county can be a partner not only in helping to fund some minor ways to help make it really something great, really even better, but also to provide the communication piece of advertising once they're opened up so that we can, with the location in such great proximity to the Eau Claire area, we could absolutely see increased use out of those, which thereby, again, it's an economic development project because, again, hopefully people come visit, they go and spend time at a restaurant there, maybe do some camping the next time they consider getting out of the city. And overall, that's the vision for this project. And so, again, we have widespread support from our legislative representatives and senators, Strum volunteers and village. I would say that they rallied around this. They're an amazing group of people in a village that is very interested in working together. And so they have an interest in seeing this improvement happen as well.
I have to admit, I'm not as far as informed on this as I probably should be. These trails are all Village of Strum property, or does it go out on private properties?
It is Strum property.
All Strum property,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
What's that?
Not that whole trail that goes from Mondovi all the way to
No,
Fairchild.
that's a different trail.
No,
That's not a walking trail, that's,
that's not the same
This is
one.
just a walking trail in Strum?
right.
Where is it?
Question,
Right across from the golf course.
Yep.
Oh, okay, out there
Yep.
back in.
about
My
how many
understanding is
do
at
we,
one time there was supposed to be another 9-hole golf course out there, but never materialized.
about how many miles of trail is there?
I don't know. There's quite a good system in there, but quite a number of paths. So the request that I put in for the grant request, the total project cost was about $203,000. So I put in a request for $102,500. So,
And then with that, would they be expecting the county, assuming we would get the half, would they come up with the other half, or are they expecting the county to come up with some?
I believe that is where the conversation comes in our economic development piece, and where that would come in with our discussion next year, so.
Anything else? I interpret that, this is not really an action thing either right now, it's.
Just a action for support on the grant write-up, which is submitted, and if we get it, we can have more conversations, but
Really, we should look for approval of the grant for this also.
the grant application,
Okay.
correct.
Okay, is there anybody willing to make the motion for the grant application for the Strum Trails?
I'll make that motion for the
Okay.
grant application.
Right.
No funding as
Right,
of
yep.
yet.
I'll second.
Second over here, okay. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Thank you.
Looks like we've come to the closed session part of our meeting. Is somebody willing to read the motion for that? Oh, stuck for me, huh?
I can read it if you like.
Okay, please.
Closed session, discussion and action to disallow claims by W. Horshak against Trempealeau County. This section shall be held in closed session pursuant to Wisconsin statute 1985, subsection 1G, conferring with legal counsel for the government body who is rendering oral or written advice concerning strategy to be adopted by the body with respect to litigation in which it is or is likely to become involved.
Okay. Somebody willing to make the motion to that effect?
I'll make a motion.
Okay. Second? And I believe this needs a roll call, correct?
does.
Okay. Addie? Yes. John? Yes. Dave, yes. Bridget?
Yes.
Doc? Yes. Confirmed. How about the disallowance of the Horshak claim? There. Do I have a second?
Second?
And a second. And this can just be a voice vote, right?
Yes.
Yeah. All in favor of that motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Moving on, full board.
Thank you.
Next meeting date, December 1, 2025. And if I remember right, unless I win the discussion, I'm not going to be at this meeting.
I mean, it's on the agenda.
Yeah.
Okay? I think we got everything covered that's on there, right? What do we say? You got something over there? Or just,
No, I just thought we were gonna be discussing, but it's not on the agenda, you can't discuss it anyway.
oh, okay.
Well,
Oh, you talking about the
Yeah,
reservation deal? Or what do you,
no, I was talking about I brought my
I don't know why you asked it.
24, 25, and 26 budget. Figured we'd
oh,
passion, but
okay.
trying to save some time on Tuesday. Or Wednesday.
Okay, with nothing else, I will adjourn the meeting at 9:16.